So my friend recommended me this game. It's called Tiny Wings, and yeah, I was like, "What am I going to record today? I have no idea." And my friend was like, "Oh, well, why don't you play Tiny Wings?" He looks on his phone and he looks at all the apps on his phone and he's like, "I have this game on my phone. You should play this." And so I'm like, "Okay, this looks pretty fun." I've played another game that's similar to this, which I realize now was probably ripping off this game, or at least inspired by it. I don't want to say like ripping off because no ideas are truly original. And it was definitely not a carbon copy of this game. It just used the main mechanic of like momentum and you hold down to move down. It used that whole mechanic, but I don't know. We've seen like very obvious rip-off games like I'm trying to think of like a really obvious like what's the example of an obvious rip-off game? I can't think of what games that pretend to be something they're not, right? There was an iOS game called like Cookies Clicker or something, because there's no like mobile app of Cookie Clicker. So they like cashed in on it and they were like, we're making Cookie Clicker on iOS. And it was so much worse than the actual game and it was full of microtransactions. That's like a classic copy paste game. But if you compare like Clicker Heroes to Cookie Clicker, obviously distinctly different games, but Clicker Heroes was obviously inspired by Cookie Clicker. Almost every idle game is, just by virtue of Cookie Clicker kind of inventing the format. Although I would argue there were Cookie Clickers before Cookie Clicker. Cookie Clicker was the one that exploded. And it even has like prestige systems and stuff now, which is what we see in like modern idle games. You kind of expect those things. Those things are kind of like the de facto progression in clicker games and all this. Okay, so the game was $1.99, and like I'm not buying a game for $1.99 to make a 2-minute video on. But it turns out it's on Apple Arcade. So with my new iPhone 16 Pro, I get 3 months of Apple Arcade for free. And 3 months is longer than we even have left on the channel. So that's chill. And actually, I realize I should be recording more Apple Arcade videos because it's super easy. It takes barely any time. And there's some good games on there. There's Balatro, which I've already played, so I can't play that. Which is one of my favorite videos I made, Balatro. It's just like, I got really into that game after the video, and it's fun kind of going back and watching what my first experience with the game was like, because there's a lot of games I play that I've like on Gold that I've already played before, and you know, I would not be as fond of that Balatro video if I had played the game for 40 hours beforehand. There would be nothing novel about it. It would just be a run of Balatro, which is the same reason, like, I love Balatro video that I made, but the Slay the Spire video, it's fine. Like, it's a fun run, but it's not as novel because I've played Slay the Spire quite a lot. Anyway, I've been playing a lot of Rivals 2 recently, and I've switched to Xbox controller because my box is broken. I don't know how many of you actually knew that I play on box, but I did, and now I can't. So I think I need to replace the motherboard because the USB-C port is completely, like, bonked. But that's decently expensive and not a job that I really want for myself right now. So I think my situation with Melee is as follows. I'm kind of locked into GameCube now, which kind of, for me, means being locked into Puff. Puff is usually what I play when I'm not able to play on box. Because my tech skill's not that good on controller, because I haven't played it in like 2 years. The problem now becomes, you know, how do I keep competing in Melee? And I think I'm not worried about it, because I'm really enjoying Rivals 2 right now, and I want to put my focus on that. So, yeah, that's kind of the life update and the controller update. Yeah, I gotta upload this. I've got, like, no time.